was real, because the person that I did get to know, I really, really did or do love that person, and the genuine heart. And it was so much more. It was like I'm a faith person and a spiritual person, and just hearing him talk so much about that and being into the same thing that I'm into as far as dancing and family, and being such a giving and loving person my entire life, to receive it back from a stranger who doesn't even know me, it feels really good, you know?
She stood outside the concert venue at 11:30 p.m., heart pounding, phone in hand. For 6 months, she'd been texting him daily her favorite artist, someone she'd admired for years. Tonight, she'd finally see if he'd slip up. But when midnight passed and her phone lit up with his message saying the show went well, Tyler from California felt something shift inside her. Maybe, she thought, this really is him. Until a single reverse image search changed everything. Tyler Jones was a 8-year-old dance teacher from Winchester, California, living the life she'd built with her own hands. 15 years of choreography, community performances, teaching elementary kids to move with confidence. Dance wasn't just her profession, it was her language. She'd founded her own dance team after her aunts closed theirs, performing at parades and festivals, pouring creativity into every routine. But relationship-wise, that part of her life had been mostly empty. One serious relationship years ago with her son's father, a handful of dates that fizzled out. She'd been too focused on building something meaningful in other areas to invest deeply in romance. And perhaps that's exactly what made her vulnerable, not a lack of intelligence, but a shortage of intimate connection. When someone seems to see you, really see you, loneliness doesn't announce itself with a warning label. Tyler wasn't reckless. She was cautious by nature, analytical even. But she was also human, and humans crave recognition, especially from those they admire. It started with a direct message on Twitter from an account under Chris Brown's name. Tyler was skeptical at first, but as conversations progressed and the imposter seemed to possess intimate knowledge of Chris Brown's life, her doubts began to wane. He said he'd noticed her dancing videos. He talked about wanting her in his music videos. The conversations were warm, personal, layered with spiritual talk, faith, family, the grind of being creative in a world that doesn't always understand artists. He mirrored her values so perfectly it felt like fate. The imposter manipulated Tyler's trust and emotions, leading her to believe in a budding connection through personal stories, messages filled with affection, and discussions about plans for a future together. And here's the thing, celebrity romance scammers impersonate famous figures to impress targets, with past scammers claiming to be celebrities like Keanu Reeves and Brad Pitt, creating deepfakes and photoshopped images to prove their identities. The playbook is refined, it's industrial, and it works precisely because the target wants to believe. Tyler wasn't naive, she tested him multiple times. When Chris Brown's Under the Influence music video dropped, he'd told her weeks earlier he was working on something special, that she'd inspired it. The timeline matched. The video featured black models, something he mentioned wanting to do. Even his outfit resembled something she'd worn to an all-white party months prior, down to the hair color. Coincidence? Or confirmation? Then came the concert test. December, San Francisco. She bought a ticket, told no one, not even him. She sat in the crowd watching the real Chris Brown perform, phone in hand, waiting for a text that would prove it was all fake. If he messaged her while on stage, she'd know. He didn't message during the show. He texted an hour after it ended, casual, asking how her night was. No specific details about the performance, just vague talk about fans and energy. When she later admitted she'd been there, he acted surprised. "I can't believe you were there." But not suspicious. Just distant enough to seem plausible. She even FaceTimed him, briefly. The screen lit up and there he was, or appeared to be. He made a quick comment about it being dark in her room, then hung up. Seconds. Just enough to plant the seed of belief. Later, investigators would discover these were likely deepfake video calls or pre-recorded clips manipulated with AI. The emergence of deepfake technology allows scammers to produce realistic video or audio recordings of impersonated celebrities to communicate with targeted victims. Then came the moment that nearly sealed her belief entirely. He told her he was in town, sent a photo from a Marriott hotel just 11 miles from her house. Another image showing her exact street. The house across from her is visible in the frame. He needed $100 for a taxi to come see her. Just $100. That's all. He'd left his wallet at the hotel. Investigators later used Google Maps' timeline feature to trace that street image back to 2011. A screenshot pulled from archived mapping data and sent to Tyler to create the illusion of real-time proximity. The hotel photo? A screenshot from his public TikTok account. He was never there. He was never close. He was 5,000 miles away. Scammers follow a pattern. They pretend to be someone the victim will trust, assure them of love while claiming money is needed to build a future together, explain stressful situations requiring urgent funds, then ask for transfers through hard-to-dispute methods like wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or gift cards. Chris Brown is worth an estimated $50 million. Yet Tyler found herself buying Google Play cards, Steam cards, even a Sephora gift card, whatever was available at the store when his preferred option wasn't in stock. She'd photograph the card selection, and he'd tell her which one to grab. Sometimes the money went through Coinbase or NetTeller. Other times, she sent it via Cash App to a woman named Bonnie, an intermediary whose existence served one purpose: plausible deniability. He framed it as a test of her commitment. "People always come to me expecting money," he'd say. "How do I know you're different if you won't even show you're willing to give what you have?" She kept a notebook, every receipt, every gift card code, not out of suspicion, out of devotion. She wanted proof that she'd sacrificed, that she was the real thing. Tyler wasn't sending money because she was gullible, she was sending it because emotional investment makes people do irrational things to protect what they believe they've built. According to the FBI, Americans lost over $672 million to romance scams in 2024, and in 2023, over 64,000 people in the U.S. lost more than $1 billion to romance scams, many involving scammers claiming to be celebrities. But doubt is a slow poison. It creeps in through the cracks of contradictions. Tyler started questioning the small things. Why wouldn't a celebrity just verify himself on video properly? Why gift cards? Why Bonnie? Why couldn't she ever reach him at predictable times? She reached out to Social Catfish, a fraud investigation service. She sent screenshots, timelines, every digital breadcrumb. The research team went to work reverse image searches, IP tracking, location verification, even visiting the Marriott hotel themselves. Every candid photo Chris sent? Screenshots from his official social media posted months earlier. The street photo? Archived Google data. The hotel lobby shot? A public TikTok video. The FaceTime? Likely AI-generated or pre-recorded deepfake content. And then came the final confirmation. Social Catfish sent Tyler a trackable link disguised as a gift card redemption site. When Chris Brown clicked it multiple times trying to claim the fake money, his IP address was captured. Nigerian romance scams have distinct designs with defined targets and devastating tactics, originating from scammers in Nigeria or Nigerian immigrants, often extracting thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. All 5 clicks came from Lagos, Nigeria. Tyler called him one last time. When he picked up, the voice on the other end wasn't smooth or confident. It was hurried, slightly panicked. Not Chris Brown. Not even close. Just a man caught in the mechanics of his own con, realizing the mark had figured it out. "I can't hear you," he said. "Can't hear me? Huh?" The call ended. Tyler blocked the account. The relationship, if it ever could be called, that was over. Let's dissect how this scam operated with such precision. Stage 1. Target selection. Tyler was a public-facing creative with a social media presence. She posted about dance, faith, family. She wasn't showing off wealth, but she was showing values, the exact raw material scammers use to build connection. 1, 2. Nigerian scammers often choose targets based on perceived vulnerability, including older women who have lost a spouse, or individuals who have shared information about personal hardships or emotional struggles, exploiting these vulnerabilities to build trust and request money. Stage 2. Identity construction. The scammer didn't just pretend to be Chris Brown, he became a version of Chris Brown that Tyler needed. He emphasized faith and spirituality because she did. He talked about dancing and family because those were her anchors. 1-3. Scammers pressure victims into secrecy, citing concerns about paparazzi or strict NDAs, then leverage flattery, false intimacy, or fabricated crises to convince fans to send money. Stage 3. Social proof manufacturing timelines that matched album releases, concert schedules that aligned, Instagram stories that seemed to correlate with his texts. All of it was reverse engineered. The scammer simply monitored Chris Brown's real activities and referenced them after they happened, making it seem like insider knowledge. Stage 4. Micro-commitment escalation. It didn't start with thousands. It started with conversation. Then a $50 card. Then $100 for a taxi. Each small act of trust made the next one easier. This is how commitment psychology works once you've invested. Quitting feels like losing everything you've already put in. Stage 5. Isolation. He positioned their relationship as secret, exclusive, something the world couldn't know about yet. That kept Tyler from casually mentioning it to friends or family who might have spotted the red flags immediately. Looking back, the warning signs were everywhere. No live, sustained video communication. The FaceTime lasted seconds, in poor lighting, with an abrupt hang-up. Real video calls don't behave that way. Gift cards as payment method. In 2022, 34% of romance scam victims made cryptocurrency payments, 27% sent wire transfers, and 7% sent gift cards. Celebrities don't need gift cards, scammers do, because they're untraceable. Requests for tests of commitment. Legitimate relationships don't require financial proof of love. Scams do. Moving platforms quickly. From Twitter to text to Cash App to Coinbase, scammers constantly shift platforms to evade detection and keep victims off balance. Generic responses. After the concert, he gave no specific details about the show. Real performers remember their sets. Tyler wasn't foolish. She was emotionally strategic, even protective of herself throughout the process. She went to the concert to test him. She kept records. She questioned inconsistencies. But what makes Nigerian romance scams effective and dangerous is that they are well-researched and tailored to exploit vulnerabilities of individual victims, building trust over time rather than sending generic messages. Here's the uncomfortable truth. This scam worked because Tyler wanted it to be real. Not out of greed, out of hope. Hope for connection, recognition, partnership. The scammer didn't exploit stupidity. He exploited the universal human desire to be seen by someone you admire. And that's the most dangerous part. Celebrity romance scams don't target the ignorant. They target the hopeful. Tyler never disclosed the exact amount she lost, but she considers herself fortunate compared to others. One British woman lost $22,800 to scammers posing as Chris Brown using AI images and fake calls, while a woman in France lost about 830,000 euros, approximately $850,000, after scammers impersonating Brad Pitt convinced her she was in a romantic relationship using AI-generated images and claims he needed money for medical treatment. Tyler walked away with her dignity intact and a hard-earned lesson. She didn't crumble, she investigated. And now, by sharing her story, she's potentially saving thousands of others from the same trap. How to protect yourself. Dos. Run reverse image searches on any photos sent by someone you haven't met. Request live video calls with real-time interaction. Ask them to hold up a specific number of fingers, say a random phrase. Talk to friends or family immediately if someone online asks for money. Trust the feeling when something seems too convenient. Don't send money, cryptocurrency, or gift cards to anyone you haven't met in person. Move conversations off-platform quickly without verification. Keep online relationships secret from people who care about you. Ignore the simple question, why would a celebrity need my money? Remember, the moment someone asks you to prove your love with money, the relationship is over because it was never real. Tyler now focuses on her dancing, her students, her son. She's dating in person, meeting real people in real spaces. The notebook full of gift card receipts? She keeps it not as a reminder of shame, but as evidence of how sophisticated deception has become. Because here's what scammers understand better than most. The line between hope and delusion isn't drawn by intelligence. It's drawn by information. And when someone controls the information you see, they control the reality you believe. Celebrity romance scams aren't about falling for the wrong person. They're about someone engineering the right illusion. Stay vigilant. Trust your instincts. And remember, if Chris Brown actually wanted to meet you, he wouldn't need your Cash App. Every scam leaves behind more than financial loss. It leaves questions about trust, intuition, and what we're willing to believe when loneliness or admiration clouds judgment. Tyler's story isn't just about one woman and a fake celebrity. It's about the architecture of modern deception, the weaponization of hope, and the industrial-scale exploitation of human connection. We document these cases not to shame the victims, but to expose the mechanics, because understanding how fraud operates is the first line of defense. When you know the system, you can see the trap before you step in it. This is the scam anatomy, where every case reveals not just what happened, but how it was designed to happen. Because in the end, the best protection isn't suspicion, it's knowledge.